John Dickerson. We were all here. They flashed up the president-elect leaving, and the whole crowd here on the National Mall erupted.
Yeah.
That's been the first pictures that they've been able to see of him. Tweeting from inside the church.
Yes,
not the president-elect, but his team.
Yeah. We'd slap the kids if they were doing that.
Yeah.
But again, this is a day of breaking norms.
These are Trump staff, we assume.
Yes.
You know,
People on
what about the preacher suggesting, if this is true,
that he's the instrument of God's will?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that is. I mean, that's not new. We've had presidents who believe that.
No, but the preacher
himself. Yeah. Well, if you believe that we act in God's will, acts through us, then that's not. It's not that outside a thing to believe. But
no, but what's interesting is that the preacher said, "I told you that you would be the 45th president of the United States."
So he's
long before the primary.
He's a preacher and a pundit.
There you go.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
He has political wisdom.
That's right. Everybody's. I mean, that's a lot of. Inspiration there, and as if Donald Trump didn't have enough on his plate, now he's got to be the instrument.
But John, talk about the significance of this prayer service. It's a long-standing tradition. What should the leaders get out of this church service, starting the day in church this way?
Well, if they are people of faith, and the presidents so far have been, this is at the core of what gets you through the day. Yeah. I mean, you will be, and we're talking about what he wants to do in his first 100 days. The defining thing of the first 100 days will be the thing we don't know about, will be the unexpected surprise, will be the crisis. Right. Donald Trump not only got the nuclear football today, but he also now, I believe, will be in charge of the kill list, which means he will be able to choose which terrorists get struck by drones. He has extraordinary powers now. And most presidents have said that in those moments of trial, that it's religion that gives them their stability. And so if you're a person of faith, this is the kind of ballast you need for a job that's going to test you in ways you've never been tested before.
We're now learning that the pastor who spoke inside there was Reverend Robert Jeffress, who's a Southern Baptist, who has a long history of inflammatory remarks about Muslims, Mormons, Catholics. He's the one who said, "I told you you would be president" from day one, even before there was voting. So it is the prerogative of the incoming president to choose who does the service. But what does it say about his selection?
Well, he's dancing with the one who brung him. I mean, a supporter that who has been with him for a while. And again, if this is where you get your ballast, then you want somebody there who's been with you all along.
And the ecumenical vote was essential to him getting the nomination.
The evangelical vote, that's exactly right.
I mean, the evangelical vote,
and that was a fascinating thing, because a lot of evangelicals that we all talked to during the campaign had real disagreements with Donald Trump, specifically on these questions of core values and the culture.
But he had people like Jerry Falwell and his son and others.
But then others who were very much split with him on the moral questions, because there were a lot of people who believe that his choices, specifically on these moral questions, were not ones they approved of.
And there we see former Vice President. That looks like Dan Quayle. Am I seeing? It's hard to see from. It is former Vice President Dan Quayle. Yeah, we're live on the Mall in a set here, so it's difficult to see across the room some of her. But there is the former Vice President there greeting members.
And you'll see that the hat has a 45 on the side. Those are the new president.
Right. There are the traditional red "Make America Great" hats, and now they're the USA hats. So there's a new piece of merchandise to be bought.
Well,
to be bought. And
Dan Quayle, former Indiana senator, became vice president. Now lives in Arizona, I think.
Yes.
Right.